For centuries, Ireland deteriorated as one of Europe's poorest nations, but then, seemingly overnight, the Irish economy exploded, taking the Emerald Isle to the ranks of the world's richest nations. Today, Ireland boasts a wealthier per capita GDP than Switzerland, Qatar, and even the United States. By all accounts, the country is thriving. Yet, scratch beneath the glossy surface, and a disquieting truth emerges. Not everyone in Ireland shares in this newfound prosperity. In fact, a staggering 70% of young people consider leaving the country, disillusioned by the very economic situation that seems so rosy from afar. How can this be? How can a nation so wealthy have its own citizens yearning to escape? This is a story of Ireland's two-faced economic boom. Okay, let's rewind the clock and understand a little bit of history on how Ireland got to where it is today. For most of its history, Ireland was not always the prosperous country it is today. As part of the UK and then as an independent nation, it battled with poverty, reliance on agriculture, and a major migration of its population seeking better chances overseas, none of which helped the economy. Even in the late 1980s, Ireland was one of the poorest Western European countries, but then it finally found its secret sauce. Joining the EU in 1973 opened up a world of possibilities. Ireland saw the potential of the single market, a space where goods and services could be freely traded between member states, but only pay taxes in one. This presented a unique opportunity to attract companies and boost the economy. They took a bold gamble, believing this single market was their key to economic prosperity. Ireland's strategy was simple, yet ingenious: to become a tax haven within the EU. They provided low corporate tax rates and considerable tax benefits to international firms, making Ireland a very appealing location for their European headquarters. This game-changing move turned Ireland's fate around. Giants like Google, Apple, and Facebook rushed in, not just creating jobs, but making it rain with investments, transforming Ireland from one of the struggling nations to one of the richest countries in Western Europe. In the 1990s and 2000s, Ireland boomed economically, earning the nickname Celtic Tiger, alongside nations like Singapore and South Korea. But then, bam, in 2008, the global economic crisis hit hard, but Ireland took an unexpected turn by slashing taxes to nearly zero, turning itself into a global tax haven. This move attracted US companies to funnel their worldwide profits through Ireland, paying close to nothing in taxes. Despite the crisis, Ireland bounced back like a champ, earning the title Celtic Phoenix for its speedy recovery and impressive growth. After decades of stagnation and emigration, it emerged as a global tech hub, earning the nickname European Silicon Valley. The population, once dwindling, started growing as highly paid tech workers moved in. But despite this apparent prosperity, a paradox emerges. Why are so many individuals thinking about leaving? Something is deeply wrong in Ireland. According to a recent poll, 7 in 10 young people aged 18 to 24 are considering moving abroad because they think they would enjoy a better quality of life elsewhere. And the issue is Ireland's brutally bad housing crisis.
The economy was overheating, property was driving too many things.
The downturn was largely a failure of finance. It created a classic real estate boom.
A real estate bubble that just truly went haywire.
While Ireland isn't alone in facing this issue, its situation is particularly dire. A complex brew of factors are at play. Government policies have made it incredibly difficult for developers to build dense urban housing, while simultaneously offering avenues for citizens to easily object and halt construction. This has resulted in a critical shortage of housing, pushing prices sky high and leaving many without access to affordable or even available options. The severity of this crisis became tragically evident just a year ago. In a country with 5.1 million inhabitants, a mere 851 rental properties were listed nationwide. Scenes of hundreds lining up on Dublin streets, desperately vying for a single apartment viewing, became grim testaments to the crisis's devastating impact.
When the bubble burst, the building industry collapsed and a significant portion of the economy collapsed with it.
Immediately, construction slowed down.
Despite the crisis's persistence for several years, numerous protests and repeated promises from officials, little progress has been made. The frustration and despair of young Irish citizens are palpable, and their desire to seek a better life abroad is entirely understandable. But housing problems are just the tip of the iceberg for Ireland. Surprisingly, the country seems to have some serious management issues, like they've been struggling for ages to build roads, set up energy infrastructure, and even their national healthcare system. It's like a never-ending crisis, always overcrowded, underfunded, and doctors are packing their bags for other English-speaking countries.
There was a danger that Ireland, could actually go into a spiral like in other countries.
The Irish economy suffered a really very, very big contraction by any historical comparison.
Ireland isn't the sole nation grappling with these challenges. It's quite surprising, though, to observe the disparity between Ireland's robust economic reputation and the actual situation on the ground. How is it that Ireland boasts an impressive economic record on paper, yet the reality falls short? Well, the explanation for this paradox may be that Ireland isn't as economically prosperous as it appears. The acclaimed Irish boom might not be genuine. Ireland's exceptionally high GDP per capita positions it well ahead of other countries. However, when we delve into different statistics, things quickly start to look questionable. Despite a relatively high average salary, it doesn't align with what one would expect given its GDP. The Irish average salary falls below that of many Scandinavian countries, resembling the earnings in nations like the Netherlands, Belgium, or Austria. Yet the GDP per capita of these countries is significantly half than Ireland's. Other indicators such as housing disposable income measuring available funds for people reveal a similar discrepancy. Ireland ranks 17th, below the European Union average. There's a big difference between how well off Ireland seems on paper and the actual prosperity of its people. Economists widely agree, though the Irish government disputes, that Ireland's wealth is inflated in GDP stats. The issue? Global corporations moving profits to Ireland, making the country seem richer than it is. This has earned the term leprechaun economics. Despite the impressive GDP, Ireland isn't as wealthy as it appears. It's like a tale of two Irelands, one rich and one struggling. The focus on high-paying tech jobs for companies like Google doesn't represent the majority. Most work in the local economy, earning way less. While the rich get attention, the poorer side of Ireland, often out of sight, reflects the daily reality for most people. The magical accounting not only hides flaws, but also misrepresents a true economic picture. That would otherwise be readily evident and very alarming for Ireland. For example, Ireland has one of the highest national debts in the world. But because a national debt is usually reported in relation to a country's GDP, and because Ireland has an insanely high GDP, this goes unnoticed. So it seems like they're handling their debt well. However, ignoring GDP and focusing just on debt, the picture is not so promising. An economist once said, "Statistics are like bikinis. They show something but hide something important." While Ireland has successfully hidden the true extent of its debt behind its inflated GDP, this facade may soon crumble. There's a growing effort to stop countries from being tax havens, and Ireland might soon have trouble collecting taxes from big foreign companies. If that happens, the truth will come out, and it's probably not going to be a nice revelation. So do you believe the Irish are not as rich as they say they are? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below and click the subscribe button. Until next time, thanks for watching.